Hey, what's up, guys? Rolling. We're back for question número tres, third question of the day. Question is, can I drive in Mexico with a foreign license? We're going to talk about it in depth. We're going to go a little further into it. Again, a lot of these questions are questions that, easily Googleable. You can easily find your question, your answer online. But again, yes and no. As you already know, there's sometimes some of these questions have a little bit more, depth to them. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about right now. Again, we're going to wait a few seconds, to make sure everybody's getting in here, because again, this is a live stream for anyone that's new out there. Every single Thursday on this channel, I like to do, 3 live streams, okay, where I answer 3 of your questions that you guys ask me. All right, and again, you can click on the link in the description, in the chat, and in the comments section, so you can go straight to my website that is full of free information for anyone looking to move to Mexico. Plus, it's going to explain to you how it all works, how you can, send me an email to ask me a question, and how I can answer it for you, and so on and so forth. And that's it. And that's a great way that you can help support the show and everything we're doing here. So, long story short, can you drive in Mexico with a foreign license? Is yes. In fact, I'll take it a little further. Like I was telling you guys in a recent video, again, every single Sunday I publish a video on the channel. Thursdays are for live streams. But anyways, as I was mentioning in a previous video, me and a friend, he was driving with his expired California's license. All right, he had an expired U.S. California license. All right, I don't know how long. I think it's a few years. It's been expired already. Anyways, long story short, we got pulled over. Because he committed an infraction. By the way, the cops out here are still regular cops, okay, in most areas, all right? But long story short, don't be giving them any reason to stop you. He gave him a reason. He wasn't wearing his seatbelt, all right? And they stopped him. They were, always looking for an excuse, to shake you down one way or the other. And so, the traffic stop, is basically just like any other traffic stop in which, the officer, hey, why I stopped you, whatever, okay, they talked about the seatbelt thing, and then basically he's like, okay, I need your license and registration, okay, which is your tarjeta de circulación, or your circulation, paper, whatever, that's it. The guy gave him his insurance, the insurance paperwork and all this other stuff too. But the cop was like, I don't need any of that. I just need your license and registration, please. That's it. So he went, wrote him a ticket, came back. That's it. My friend was like a little worried. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Since my license expired, he just gave it to him, didn't say anything. And that's it. The cop didn't care. He just wrote him a ticket, and that's it. So with that being said, you have nothing to worry about. Look, I'll even tell you my story. When I went to register my truck, my car, I registered it with my expired license because I didn't know, towards the end when I was finishing up all the paperwork at the DMV, and they said, hey, can I get your license? And I was like, oh, yeah, I only have my U.S. expired license. And the guy's like, oh, all right, hold on a second. And he went, and that's it. I was able to get my car registered under my name. So the car's under my name. But FYI, the cop was like, hey man, make sure to get your license and this and that and da-da-da. And that's it. So, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a big deal. Now, again, remember, we've talked about it multiple times on the channel. Each government officer, office, state, everything is going to act very differently. So, in some places I've, heard that they won't accept your expired license to register something or what have you. In some places they won't even ask you. And like I was saying earlier, most of the time they're not even going to care because again, the reality is that, about your license status is the reality is because a driver's license in Mexico is just that, a driver's license, nothing else. So that's it. So all of a sudden, like they catch you, a police officer driving and you don't have a license, again, it's a minimal fine. It's nothing like, they'll take your car or arrest you or what have you. And let's just say that you come across a very bad and corrupt cop and he does want to do something like that, and you don't know your rights, and it just whatever gets out of hand, listen, if there's somebody else in the car with you, they'll be able to drive. Many times, again, you'll be able to park the car, all right, and leave it there, call an Uber, a taxi, whatever, and that's it. They're not going to be towing the car or arresting you or anything like that. Again, sometimes they threaten to take your plates or what have you. But the thing is that cops in Mexico are very different. So let's say that, you do so the cop that, me and my friend encountered was an actual cop, a good cop. I live in Mérida, Yucatan, and so out here the cops are, good cops, you know what I mean? They pretty much, follow the cop law or whatever, the rules. So long story short, the cop basically just wrote him the ticket, you're on your way, and that's it. That's it. Worst thing that he could have done is given him another ticket for not having the proper license, but not really. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was. Again, it's very different out here. It's not like in the U.S. where they're looking to just really destroy your life or really just trying to stack up the tickets and all this other stuff. So out here, you just give him that one ticket. You're on your way. You're good to go. And but what I was gonna say was that, at the end of the day, it's just a minor infraction at best. Okay, even if you don't have a license. So in other places, okay, yeah, I was going to talk about the corruption. So what happens in some areas with some cops, some parts of Mexico out there, what happens is that the cop really wants money. So he'll say, hey, look, I can write you the ticket now, which is going to be like 2,000, 3,000 pesos, or we can settle this right now. And then, how much or whatever, you know what I mean? Then you go on ahead and, work out something. And it's obviously going to be cheaper. And again, that's not for everybody. A lot of people can fight this, don't fight it, whatever. It's up to you. You want to pay the $2,000 fine at the station, or you want to pay the officer 500 pesos right there to be on your way. It's up to you. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. But don't be inciting, bribing on the cop, because then you'll get another fine for that, because they'll get insulted. Because again, if you've got a goody two-shoes cop that just wants to write you the ticket, and by the way, he was actually mad that he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, and that's why he was really writing him the ticket. He was just upset. Safety. I was like, oh, okay, good, great. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, but that was really it. You know what I mean? So if all of a sudden, like, that cop that's trying to be a cop and he's writing you the ticket for your safety so you can learn your lesson, and you try to bribe that guy, listen, he's probably going to write you another ticket, and then he's probably going to write you a ticket for the license situation, and I can go on and on. That's how that works. Now, the cops that are bribable, they're going to just say right there, they're going to let you know what I mean? Hey, you want to just settle this right now? And again, depends. So like in some cases, in that case, again, he was driving with an expired license, and he did something wrong, which is the seatbelt situation. So in that case, well, you kind of pay the piper. But in some cases, when you come across certain cops that are corrupt out there, well, that's when you can kind of stand up for your rights, and you can just demand, yeah, no, give me the ticket, or I'll go fight or whatever. Because if they write you a bogus ticket, that's a different deal. You get what I'm saying? And so, and, they're trying to shake you down. If all they're trying to do is shake you down, and they're trying to create something, out of nothing, because all they want is money, then, again, you just tell them, give me the fine, and then, eventually you'll be on your way, because they don't want to give you a fine, because they know that they can't really write you a fine for XYZ. All they want is money right then and there. So, driving in Mexico is really not that big a deal. You know what I mean? Like I said, I found out when I was with my friend, that even if you have an expired license from another country, it's still not that big of a deal. So, that helps a lot. Now, let's just talk about like how it works in other, like in different parts of Mexico. So, if you're in a rural part of Mexico, let's say you live in a pueblo, in the villages, you live in a rural part of Mexico where there's probably just one or two, community cops or what have you, or just a small little, police presence. Listen, you don't even have to have a license there, because many people don't have a license. Many regular Mexicans living in rural areas, why would they have a license? Or they're not driving, on major highways going into town with trucks. No, they're just all basically staying within the village. And a lot of them have, they're not even regular vehicles per se. You know what I mean? They're, you've seen them, like the little tuk-tuks, or or what have you. You know what I mean? They have, many vehicles, okay, that are not necessarily a car. But long story short, you know what I mean? As long as they kind of keep it within those areas, they're good to go. Most of them never even get a license or insurance or register it or anything like that. Well, they'll probably register it just kind of simply for the fact that they want to own it and, it's theirs, that whole thing. But other than that, it's really not maybe just register it once and not necessarily even go out there and renew the tag or renew the papers every so often, like needed. So, but the more you're in the cities, the closer you are to like the city center and in the cities and within, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be a little bit more compliant. But again, it's still not that big a deal. Meaning it's like, you don't have your license, all right, you're getting a fine, you're getting in trouble, you're getting whatever, but it's not like an arrestable offense. It's not like you're going to tow your car. It's not like the end of the world. It's a simple, because all the driver's license is basically a permission slip, a little piece of paper that kind of says, you passed whatever test, whatever road test, you needed to pass in order to be, compliant, or what is it, comparable to drive or what have you, And that's it. That's really all it is. And so that's the way to look at it here. So in the U.S. and other countries, but at least in the U.S., a driver's license means a lot. It's like a big thing. Your driver's license is your ID. Might as well be your social security number, in many cases. But it's not that here at all. It's just a driver's license. Like if you were to get like a fishing license or a business license or what have you. So, you're conducting business without your business license. Hey, you're going to get a fine. You're going to get a little bit of trouble. That's it. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to 20 years in jail. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Out here, you don't have, the proper driving credentials. Then, yeah. Now, by the way, there's a little caveat I want to give you guys. I know that 99% of you guys that are watching this, are not Mexican citizens. If you are a Mexican citizen, and let's say you're driving around with no license, or you're driving around, with an expired license in the city or certain, areas like that, again, like the city, then you know what I mean? They're probably going to treat you similar, to what they do in the U.S. Not similar. You're probably going to just get a little bit more harassment from the cops. So the thing is that we got to keep in mind that, again, you're a permanent resident, you're a foreigner, you're a whatever. By the way, they never ever asked, they never asked my friend, for his visa or his permanent residency card or none of that crap, okay? They just, again, license and registration. On the license, it said it was a foreigner. That's it. That's what they assume and they whatever. So even if you are a foreigner and you're a citizen, again, unless you got your Mexican license, and on the license they can register, they kind of see it in the computer, or again, you give them your ID because you don't have a Mexican license, and that's when it kind of like, they'll maybe give you a little bit more of a hassle. But at the end of the day, just speaking to all of you guys out there that are going to be coming out here with a license from Europe, a license from Canada, from the United States, you got nothing to worry about, okay, at all. You can, as long, again, make sure that it's, what is it, like not expired, make sure that it's a valid driver's license, okay, that it's still within, But long story short, you know what I mean? You drive out here with your valid driver's license, it's just like having a Mexican driver's license. Not a big deal. You got your U.S. or Canadian driver's license, okay? And in the off chance that, let's say, it expires, you're still good to go. Now, what might happen is that, let's say you have an expired driver's license and you're trying to rent a car or something like that, you're probably not going to be able to rent a car. Now, can you get insurance with an expired license? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because they don't ask you for your license, In fact, even if you get in an accident, all the insurance adjuster cares about is the insurance. They're not really caring about, your driver's license or your status of your license. In fact, if they do have to get some sort of ID, any ID will do. So, and even if there's no ID, any information you can give them will do. So, I mean, as long as you got insurance, you're good to go. Now, if you don't have insurance, you get in an accident, then you're going to be in trouble, because you either got to make it right then and there, pay cash, okay, and right then and there at the accident scene, or you go to jail. You go straight to jail. All right, if you cannot come up with the money, or you cannot come up with an agreement with the person you crashed with, all right, and there's a police presence, and no, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, you better figure something out. So that's why it's very important to have insurance in Mexico. Car insurance in Mexico. That's it. You know what I mean? But again, that's it. Just insurance. You know, forget about the license and the this and the that. So, oh, there we go. Shout out to David Rogers in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, he's been driving a lot in Mexico. He's a big friend of the show. We did a video together. You guys should check it out. Let me see. But yeah, long story short, yeah, he's he's chatting in there with you guys. But yeah, insurance is extremely inexpensive. Extremely affordable as well. But but we're just talking about the licensing. So again, with your foreign license, you should be able to do a lot. You should be able to do a lot. You know what I mean? Again, you want it to be valid to make it easier on you, and so on and so forth. But again, just going back to like the whole idea behind a driver's license in Mexico, it is not like a document that is absolutely 1,000%. You know what I mean? Like mandatory, like it is in the USA. And so in the USA, it is extremely mandatory for everyone. Even if you don't drive, you got to have a freaking driver's license in many cases, or some sort of ID that you got to carry with you all the time. Not like that at all in Mexico. So in Mexico, you have your ID which is, again, as a Mexican citizen, you have your thing called your INE, and that is your ID. And that's basically it. That's kind of like what you do everything with. And most people, they have it on them. Sometimes they don't, whatever. But it's like your social security card. You kind of like keep that at home. You're not really, no one's really asking you for it. It's not really, it's like an official document. And that's it. And so like if you're driving, what they're going to be asking you for is your driver's license, which is just for driving. That's it. You know what I mean? Nothing else. Hey, how's it going, everybody out there in the chat? Shout out to John, 300 Rivers, David, everyone. Everyone in the chat. El Jefe, Hansen, Natasha. Shout out to everyone. But, again, this is an easy question. This week we had 3 easy questions. Shout out to Sue. Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen. I haven't heard that name in a while. Anyway, shout out to Sue Ellen out there. She is the one that asked me this simple question. Again, this week we had 3 simple questions, topics to talk about. In previous weeks, depending on the week, depending on the questions I get, the questions all depending on you. You guys have to ask me questions for me to answer. If you want more information on how to do that, please, just click on the link that's in the chat, that's in the description, that's in the comment section, and it'll take you straight to my website. And on my website, not only can you find a lot of free information, all the videos, but again, just free information and all kinds of other useful stuff. Again, you know what I mean? You can click on the personalized consultations or click on the link. It'll take you straight there and it'll show you exactly what you need to do in order to ask me a question. And that's it. It's a great way for you to help support the show and help support everything that we're doing here. And that's it, you know what I mean? Like some of you guys want to buy a t-shirt or a mug. Some of you guys just want to send a few bucks. Some of you guys want to ask a question. Some of you guys want to book a one-on-one consult. Let's say you want to do a one-on-one, consult with me. Again, it's, we can do a Zoom meeting, FaceTime, Skype, whatever works. And we just talk for about an hour, you know what I mean? But basically until all your questions are answered. And, there's a lot of things that I can't talk about here online. And there's some things that you guys might not want to share or talk about per se. Asking me a simple question, or you have multiple questions. So that's where, you can, go on and, maximize, get more bang for your buck. You get to talk to me in person, one-on-one. And ask me anything you want. Talk to me about whatever you want. And I get to, again, help you out even further because, some of you guys are new here to the show, new here to the channel, don't know much about me and everything I do here. But again, I basically answered everything, you guys have, ever thought of, and then some, and even questions that you never even thought of asking. And they're all over the channel. I got them. Again, and sometimes they're in question form like this and they're easy to find. Sometimes they're harder to find because, they're in my ramblings on the videos that I drop every single Sunday. So, you guys want and need some answers. And so you guys just basically book a one-on-one consultation and I give everything to you right then and there and you're good to go. And in many times, again, not only will I give you all the information, but for further information, I give you links to videos and, links to individuals and people out there that can, further your help, further the help and further everything. And that's it. Ja Ray says, I got to get my consultation before my trip to December and Medina. Oh, awesome. Oh yes, yes. Oh, I thought you said you were. I thought you were. You said that you got that you. We did one already. But yes, yes. Looking forward to talking to you, brother. Shout out to you, or sister. You know, whatever. But anyway, shout out to everyone out there. But yeah, long story short, you know what I mean? Yes, you can book me on for a one-on-one call, you know, or you can just simply ask me one question. You know, sometimes, like I said, some of you guys have watched a lot of my content, have gotten all your questions answered, but you have that one question or two questions, you know, whatever that you want me to talk about. And then that's where we, you know, just go straight to my website. Again, that has a lot of free information that you guys can check out. You guys can check out how you can book me for a one-on-one meeting. You can book, you know, you can ask me a question. You know, all these questions that I answered today, you know, all three of them, you know, were in the $10 to $15 range because again, they were simple questions, you know, like driving with a foreign license, residency through gay marriage. What else? You know, travel visa, you know, and all that good stuff. But again, I have a lot more, you know, other complicated, you know, topics and questions that I've talked about before, and you can check them out there. You know what I mean? Will more people flock to Mexico if things get worse? You know, does Mexico have medical tourism? Does Mexico have passport bros? You know, what is a passport bro? So anyways, again, anything you could ever even think about asking me, I got here. But long story short, you want to book a meeting, you want to book a question, all the information is on my website. And, you know, and I hope I get to help you out. And hope I've already answered all your questions or many of your questions in my videos. And again, please just check out the website, josearteaga.com, and you can see, you know, all the videos, you know, everything that I've done and then some. And you guys can get even more information. So with all that being said, guys, I think we're done here with this live stream. I got a lot of work to do, you know, as I was telling you guys earlier, you know, I was in the middle of editing videos. Got to drop one for this Sunday. Every single Sunday we drop a video. Every single Thursday I do live streams. So most Thursdays I answer your questions like this, you know, 3 questions at a time. Or, you know, like next week we're going to have José Novelo, you know, the lawyer. You know, the lawyer that all you guys love, you know, everyone's favorite lawyer out there. He's going to come on the show and he's going to be talking about immigration because, again, we've had a lot of new developments, you know, when it comes to immigration and a lot of really good news, you know, for all of you guys out there looking to immigrate to Mexico. And we're going to talk about that in depth. Well, he's going to talk about it. I'm just going to be here, sitting here as quiet as possible. And I'm going to be just asking him questions, and once we're done with those, then you guys are going to be asking him questions. So again, if you guys have questions that you guys want to ask him, things for him to talk about or go a little further in depth that we haven't already answered, then please go right on ahead, get your questions ready, and we'll see you guys here next Thursday. Okay? And again, if you want more information, just please go to my YouTube page, go to my website for more information. You know, subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. This is the video right there. Okay, so this is what's coming up next Thursday. We're all ready, and you know, just we're into rock and roll. So looking forward to seeing you guys there next Thursday. So all right, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me today. Shout out to all of you guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you guys here on Sunday and every other Sunday as we usually do here. Love you guys. Peace out. Thanks again for hanging out and watching, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. By the way, check out all these other videos if you haven't already. All right. Bye, guys. Oh, wait, I got to stop the stream. Oh, jeez. Ugh, this thing. Where's this button? Where's the button?